What's up, guys?
What it do?
Welcome back to Eminem Talks. I'm your boy, Maurice.
I'm Monica.
And we're here to wing it a little bit.
We are. Notes. We just got some things to say.
Things to say, tasks are done, work is done. And we got some theorizing, some things we want to say about what's coming up. And probably identify some things that I think everyone is missing going into Captain America 4 and what the MCU is about to do.
So I think today we're going to really focus on Captain America, The Brave New World, and Black Panther.
Yeah.
So we got some things to say about that. So before we get into Black Panther, do we want to do Black Panther first and go?
We can start with Captain America first.
Yeah. Let's go on because that's the one that's coming up. So definitely want to get started on that.
And if you've been here before, if you're new to our channel, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Chop it up with us, jump down in the comments. Refer us if you have to. Like I'm looking to get involved with a couple of people that are out there, the reactors, and there's a lot of nonsense that is going on out there that I kind of want to squash as we're going into this new Cap film.
Yeah. Just watching some things. And mind you, we do follow other reactors, and there's some big ones that we definitely love watching. New rock stars. They're always awesome. We've mentioned them before.
Yeah.
John Campia, as well as E-Man, and was there somebody else?
There are a couple of here and there. I tune into the Cosmic Wonder every now and then, but I've kind of fallen back off of that. A couple of reactors I've totally just turned from. But the message is still kind of same that's out there. And when it comes to Captain America 4, first off, let me just say this. Stop the whole woke shit, please.
Oh God, that word is being so misused. It's ridiculous.
All right, because there are some reactors that rely heavily on that shit. And I want the name drop. I don't care. I want the smoke. Fucking Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker. They lean heavy into this shit. All right, look. Stop. It ain't working. It ain't ever worked.
The whole definition of woke is being so blown out of proportion. We've got away from the actual context of what woke actually means. So we don't even use it because it's just one of those, it's a nonsense word now because it doesn't even make sense the context in which everyone is using it in. So outside of that, let's get into Captain America.
Captain America, all right.
Because we've seen some things, we've seen some interviews, and stuff like that. So So I do have information. I don't even want to call it information from a source, but I was told from a source, stop worrying about reshoots, stop worrying about the rewrites. Let's touch on that first. Since we went there. As all that we've been hearing about, people have been complaining about, they start talking shit about Captain America, Brave New World, about the reshoots, the rewrites, all that crap. Okay. What was it? Was it Comic-Con when they announced? Correct me if I'm wrong. When they announced RDJ coming back, the Russos coming back. Yep, they did. Okay.
I'm paraphrasing because I'm actually using my phone to record us. So I can't see the message. But basically, what was told was when you have something, and I'm really paraphrasing here, when the scope of the Avengers changed this dramatic, example, RDJ, Russos, so does the approach. The approach has to change. Even for me, I'm like, fuck, that makes so much damn sense. Even I missed that. So basically what was being told to me was when it comes to the reshoots, because that was my direct question, what is going on with this movie? Why has it gone through so much? It's not necessarily the reshoots, but the rewrites. That was a little concerning to me. But even I overlooked something when I asked that question, and I got my question answered. When you change the scope of the overall narrative, basically we change the scope of the Avengers movies, which we all just witnessed happen back in July. The approach to that to these movies up to that movie also has to be changed. that makes sense as to why we're getting so much information coming out about Captain America: Brave New World, and even I think Thunderbolts has some reshoots and rewrites as well. I was like, oh, you know what? That does make sense because, damn, we went from Kang Dynasty to not having, not necessarily knowing what the hell Avengers 4 was going to be because of the whole Jonathan Major situation. And they get announced that it's Doomsday and RDJ is back. So with that particular movie and changing entirely, now we got word that that whole script is being redone. It would make sense that there's a couple of things along the way that got to change.
And what we're forgetting is Captain America, the Brave New World, is going to set the tone for the rest of the MCU. Because we're coming out of the old one. We've got a whole new Avengers team, mostly. And, you know, a lot of things have changed. Mm-hmm. So with that, the MCU tends to lean in the way of all their movies connecting to each other. So it only, for me, without even talking to anybody, it makes sense to me as to why the rewrites and even reshoots are happening. Why? Because as the MCU that is being written in is being created, some things are gonna have to change. Some rewrites are gonna have to happen, which brings reshoots and things like that most of the time. So I don't understand why that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Like, if we are going to, again, this movie is going to set the tone for the rest of the movies going forward with the rest of the MCU. So if things are changing in those ones, if they're having to rewrite scripts in those ones and redoing reshoots and stuff like that, why wouldn't they do rewrites in the Brave New World? Because that's going to have to coincide with the movies going forward are gonna look like. So I mean, and that's a complaint that people have. So, that's not how that happened in that one. Why are they doing this now? Well, if you want them to stay on track, they're going to have to rewrite things to make it coincide with what's coming next after that. So reshoots, rewrites, they don't bother me just because they are. I'd rather them rewrite that shit a million fucking times and get it right than to just put some bullshit out there. So I don't understand the hype around people over dramatizing the whole, it's being rewritten this many times. Okay, and
this movie's going to flop. Oh, this movie is a disaster.
Because it's going to be.
It's not going to make a whole lot of money.
So are we forgetting how many rewrites other movies have had? And some of those turned out to be some of the most successful movies. I mean, come on.
We just witnessed Agatha All Along, which was actually, honestly, it was the first. It was for me. It was the first indicator not only of Kevin Feige actually having his power back, but writing being done well. That movie not only went through title changes, but a couple of rewrites and a smaller budget, and it was a hit.
It was absolutely fucking amazing.
And
I'm glad whatever rewrites they did because they fucking hit that shit.
Daredevil was done. Let's not forget that. Daredevil was completely done. And when Feige got it, he killed all of it. And they went back and shot the entire thing all over again. Not only was it done, we weren't even getting Karen and Feige back the first run around. Or Vanessa. Feige got his power back, saw the script, killed it. All of a sudden, they're casted back in. They're written back in. And they dropped an amazing trailer, which we know this Daredevil's about to deliver. We all know that.
I'm excited to see it.
We all know that.
Basically, the moral to this story, kids, is rewrites don't mean something is going to suck. That has been happening for years. I mean, again, when you see something after you've written it out, after you've acted it out, maybe something did fit. And again, maybe a sequel to that is going to go a certain way. So, and that's already in the works. So you're going to have to do some rewrites. That doesn't mean the damn movie is going to suck. That doesn't mean we need to be over here crying and over dramatizing shit. That's not going to happen. That's not going to say that this movie is going to be the best movie ever. We're not saying that. No. What we are saying is rewrites, just because it's had a bunch of rewrites, doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean it's going to flop or if it's going to succeed. It doesn't mean one way or the other. That just means there was a different vision that needed to be put in there because something else changed and that's what they needed to do. So let's let that shit go.
And honestly,
I'm tired of hearing it. Let's let it go. That it doesn't even make sense.
And honestly, it's nothing new that we've already witnessed. Going back to the Infinity Saga, some of our favorite MCU movies. We know Kevin Feige gives these directors a sandbox to play in. They're telling an overall story, but you've got to play within this sandbox to make sure that it's going to direct the overall story or each individual story into what they want to do in an end game sense. So that's what's happening right now. We know we're coming to the conclusion of the multiverse saga. We know we're going into the mutant saga, if that's what they're going to officially call it. And it starts with this movie. So the fact that they've done reshoots, as many reshoots as they have, gone and done some rewrites, as many rewrites as they have, don't trip. Do not trip. This has to be done because we have an Avengers movie. Well, now 2 of them, I would say. That the story has been completely changed. And when that happens, like my source said, the approach has to change. It is inevitable. And they didn't understand why people are freaking out about the rewrites.
I don't understand it.
It's common sense. And when you change something that big later on down the line, the approach itself has to change.
Dude, it's self-explanatory.
So
the fact that people got to even have to get in this deep to explain why rewrites are most of the time, 99.9% of the time, necessary. Especially if you've got sequels coming after that, and we've got a whole universe to go through. So a new one at that. So they're necessary. It makes sense. And that doesn't mean one thing or the other. It doesn't mean that the movie's going to flop. It doesn't mean it's going to be a success. It just means that they needed to change it to fit the narrative of the rest of the storyline. Yeah. That's it. So cut it. Just chill out. Cut it. Focus on other things, which is what we are about to talk about.
Chill out.
Yeah, let's talk about some more obvious things.
So let's dive a little bit deeper into the story for Cap 4. I did try to dig a little more. Unfortunately, I got shut down, but was told my mind is working.
And let me tell you,
in a sense, so.
A lot of the things that we talk about, we have some of the best theories and think of some of the craziest things when we're off camera. And it's just one of those, we can't wait till we get our studio up and running. So everything's already set up and we can just go, oh, I got something to say. Let's go jump in here. But so
let's dive into what's actually being shown to everybody, and a lot of people are missing it. with this movie.
So the first thing I'm going to say is, yes, we have been getting these trailers, these preview trailers about the new Captain America, and they haven't been showing much. And a lot of people have been making mention to that. And we've noticed it too. But I think looking into it a little further, I think there's a reason for this. I really do think that there's a reason for this. I do think that
we're getting something.
We're getting a lot more than what we think that we're getting, and that's the reason why they're not doing that. And I love that. I am that person that hates when they tell the whole damn story in the fucking trailer. I hate that going up to a freaking movie, I know 50 to 60% of what the movie is about before I even get in the theater. I hate it, which is why I stay away from the internet when I'm getting ready to. I don't like spoilers. So I love the fact that we're just getting the bare minimum in these trailers. And yeah, they may add like a teeny bit of this and that into some of the new ones that we've been seeing. But for the overall movie in itself, they've kind of kept that under wraps, and I love it. And we think we have some theories as to why, because as we keep looking at these trailers, if they come on more and more, there are some things that we are kind of overlooking. There are some things that other reactors such as New Rock Stars have shown us. And there's some interviews that we have seen with some of the cast and writers and directors and stuff like that has like, oh, that little light bulb just pinked in there. Like, oh.
Yeah. So this all for me, it all started. Well, our rabbit hole discussions. This all started with Black Panther and Wakanda, and it kind of led me back to, okay, well, Sam has got this vibranium technology and got these wings, and they're showing that now. But it drew me all the way back to something that we had noticed in the first trailer, was a potential war dog from Wakanda, or a Dora Milaje undercover. So we've been sticking with that theory for quite some time. I shot a question out to John Campia on one of his live streams, and I wanted to see where he was feeling about the potential of Wakanda or Talokan being involved in Captain America 4, which he shot it down immediately. There's no reason for them to be. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. He shot it down like, okay, like nobody's really kind of talking about this, but it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't be involved. First of all, this movie is about adamantium.
Not only that, just mind you, we were before he even asked that question, we were already talking about this, and we already had some theories as to why we felt when we seen a possible Dora in there in the first teaser trailer. We've been talking about this. So this was something that we've played around with for a while, and it's just becoming increasingly evident that we are going to get Wakanda in Brave New World.
There's going to be some sort of Wakandan presence. I mean, so narrative rise. I don't know. I just butchered that word. For the story itself, and geologically, it doesn't make any sense why Wakanda would not have any type of involvement in a potential new metal.
Considering where Tiamat is located in the Indian Ocean.
Right. That's the other part. So the geographical location of Tiamat, as they're calling it, I think Celestial Island now, it's not far from Wakanda. It's not far from Wakanda at all.
Not only that, we left off in Wakanda Forever with Talokan. Their whole mission was to rise against the surface world with the help of Wakanda. And that was because the world was trying to get their hands on vibranium and to make their own, to be able to have control and do all those things. And we've seen what they did in Wakanda Forever. So this is something that they have been definitely looking into and trying. So, of course, coming to find out that there's a metal out there like adamantium, why would Wakanda not want to know? Not only Wakanda, but Talokan, why would they not want to know what's going on or get involved with
they know
who owns it? And of course,
they know.
Yeah, they would want to get involved because obviously they're going to have to know, because people have been trying to infiltrate Wakanda now. People are now knowing about Talokan. People are trying to.
They don't know about Talokan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Only
they don't know.
knows.
Yeah, only Wakanda knows. But still trying to infiltrate Wakanda now to get its resources and things like that, which is such a anyhow.
Well, we also left off in Wakanda Forever. We actually just rewatched that the other day, where the president of the United States wanted to take offensive measures against Wakanda for destabilization. That's where we left off at with that part. And now we know that Wakanda and Talokan are allies, with Talokan expecting an attack on Wakanda that would make them turn to the aid of Talokan. How would something like that happen? Adamantium.
Why would
adamantium.
Why would they not want to know what they're going up against? I mean, and not only that, the Queen Mother literally said it when she was speaking to the UN. She literally told them they have people set up in places in their governments to see what is going on, to hear. They hear their whispers amongst their governments and stuff like that.
We know what you whisper in your halls of leadership.
Yeah. There we go. So again, they do have people in there, and that's why we pretty positive we seen Adora in that first teaser trailer. We're absolutely
Adora or a war dog.
yeah. One of them are in there. And so, of course, and we were told by the Queen Mother that they are listening. So why would they not be involved with something like adamantium coming into play?
I'm not sure if we're going to get Shuri in this movie, but we may get Nakia because she is their top spy, their top war dog.
Yeah.
We may get, because she's popped up. Actually, with this director, now that I think about it, that didn't dawn on me too. Io, who's now the new head of the Dora Milaje since Okoye got dethroned. And she popped up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is the same crew from that show. I wouldn't be surprised if Io pops up again.
So while they may their presence in the movie, we are unsure about, or how big their presence is in the movie is we're unsure about. But they are definitely going to make an appearance, and for him to have that technology in the vibranium technology in his suit, the way he has it. Sam has been spending some time in Wakanda.
Yeah.
He's definitely been spending some time there.
But that also raised the question, who else has been?
Right.
Who else has been? So this was the reason why I sent off my question in the first place to my source. I feel like I came up with this theory. This is my theory. I shared it with her. I would not be surprised at all if we do get an appearance of this current Avengers team in this movie. Why I say that? There's nothing else for them to pop up in. And we got Avengers Doomsday. They start filming that actually in March. Approaching. There's nothing else really Avengers related that's coming out this year. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. Next year, it was supposed to be Avengers, but I'm not too sure. But we need to know who this team is. We don't know who this team is. We don't know where Shang-Chi is.
Yeah, there's definitely some key players that we are just unaware.
The last we saw of any group of them being together was the end credit scene for Shang-Chi. When they were investigating the 10 Rings, where we had the hologram of the Hulk and Captain Marvel and Wong. Wong has been the one that's been in contact with everybody, apparently.
Right.
But that's my theory, which is why I shot the question off. I do believe we're going to get an appearance, not only from Wakanda, but from the Avengers. And we'll see who is now involved in that team.
Who we are also thinking may make an appearance, or there's going to be some mention too, which I didn't realize until we were watching New Rock Stars. Those planes that the planes that are in the air that Sam is fighting against, those are Japanese jets. Yeah. Those are Japanese fighter jets. So and then he made mention to something that I'm not fully aware of, but or don't really know about this, but the Iron Samurai.
Silver
Samurai. Yeah. There we go.
She really doesn't know about it.
I really don't.
So go back and watch the trailer. The flashes, the images that we've gotten of the battle at Tiamat. There are a couple of fighter jets that Sam is going up against. Freeze it, they're Japanese fighters. Up to this point, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, we have not had any type of Japanese influence or involvement in anything related to the MCU. You know what? I'm thinking about it. We had one, and it was very, 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 very minor, and it was Ronin in Endgame. Mm. That was it, I believe. The Japanese are after adamantium. That's interesting.
Like, why would they be?
That's really interesting. To the point where they're fighting. That's really interesting. And the only thing I can think of, maybe we get some sort of mention. I ain't gonna get no type of visual. But maybe we get some sort of mention of them working on the Silver Samurai. We are going into that age of, mutants, and
So
Miss Marvel is a mutant. Kamala Khan, Namor is a mutant. Maybe there is one that is there now.
I'm just gonna say this because again, I didn't know nothing about no silver samurai. So when he said this to me, I was thinking this was a person, but it is a suit. For those of you who don't know, the silver samurai is a suit. So when he said that, I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe they're getting involved because they are trying to make more suits like this silver samurai one, coming up with their own army of some sort, especially with the world now knowing about
with the way
vibranium.
the world has changed.
Well, yeah, with the world now knowing about vibranium, a lot of people are wanting to have their own army of super soldiers and stuff like that to be able to combat something like that, which I still don't get. I mean, then people were, how many fucking years and centuries they went without bothering anybody in the outside world, and because other y'all found out about it, oh, now it's a threat. It's, if they wanted to attack you, they'd have been attacked you out. But anyways, I'm getting off subject.
When you have an event like the blip happen, and now you're talking about aliens that can, just show up and wipe out.
No, I understand that. I'm talking.
You want to start looking for defensive measures.
I understand that, but I was more talking about everybody wanting to think Wakanda is a threat now and wanting to destabilize them and some bullshit. Like if they wanted to attack you, they would have did that shit centuries ago. Obviously, they kept it under wraps for a reason. But anyways, so I mean, that was the only thing that's what I started thinking of as to why the Japanese are involved. If there is going to be some mention of this silver samurai suit, then that could be something that they are after to kind of to build for themselves.
Yeah, you may not get a name drop, or you may get something to the nod of the Japanese our intelligence is telling us the Japanese have been working on a new weapon.
Or we could be completely wrong. But we are, I mean, that is a theory. That's definitely, why else would the Japanese be involved?
Right.
And fighting against Sam like that?
Again, it begs the question, and I can't think of, there hasn't been anything Japanese related or influenced in the MCU ever.
If you guys know and we are missing something, please go ahead and drop that in the comments and let us know.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, and I was like, okay, so why would they be not only at Tiamat Island or Celestial Island, whatever they want to call it in the movie, but actually fighting?
Right.
So scrambling fighter jets to take off Sam, to hold off Sam. So that's really interesting, and I can't wait to see that now in this movie. My excitement for this movie has gone up considerably since I thought about all of this, and I believe we are in for something. I think they got something up the sleeves for us.
I'm still sitting at the same how I felt before. And that's just me, because I don't go into no movie. I didn't been let down too many times. I don't go into no movie with any high hopes because I want to give it a fair shot, and I'm trying to get my hopes all high, and then shit just turned out to be trash.
But honestly, like, it's not just this movie. My excitement has gone up for Thunderbolts. Is always exciting. I just couldn't see that team put together.
It's funny.
So what they're going up against, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But Fantastic Four, so that will kind of lead actually from this to Fantastic Four.
And I had zero excitement for Fantastic Four.
So did I.
I have always had zero excitement for Fantastic Four. It has never been anything I have looked forward to going to see.
Yeah, my excitement for man, my tongue twisted. My excitement for Fantastic Four was never that high. And then it started growing a little bit. Then we read what allegedly was a Kang Dynasty script, which sounded devastating, but a bit of a repeat of what we witnessed in Infinity War. So it sounded, fan made. However, it made me think of, what are we possibly going to get in Fantastic Four? And now I'm starting to get excited for it. I do believe we're going to witness an incursion in that movie. I believe their universe is dying. We may see the construction of the raft, which saves them. If you guys read the comics, you guys know what the raft is. And now now because everybody's leaning towards RDJ is going to make an appearance as Doom, which I kind of believe, but, and you're hearing it here, I believe we're getting T'Challa in this Fantastic Four movie. And why you say why? How? Well, T'Challa's being recasted.
Not our T'Challa, but
it's not the recasting T'Challa movement that everybody is thinking it is, which we'll dive into that a little bit later. But they, in that Jeff Snyder report, through the magic of the multiverse, there was a way to bring him back.
We're gonna have another universes
and
T'Challa. Clearly,
the Russos, they need their king back for them to do their movie, so I understand that. But it's a part of that report that caught my interest was when the offers were made to these actors to play T'Challa from another universe. Mm-hmm. This offer was made back in the fall. Mm-hmm. I believe it was Fantastic Four finished wrapping in November. So I think they casted him to appear in this movie. We're getting T'Challa from another universe. This T'Challa is going to be very important. He's probably already pursuing Doom. But I believe we're going to get him in this Fantastic Four movie, which is probably going to lead to them how they're going to survive this incursion and come to our main 616 universe. How they're going to transition that, I don't know. But I'm starting to believe with the dates of the casting and when they offered these actors the role of T'Challa, Jeff Snyder only reported on this a couple of weeks ago, but that offer was made back in the fall. This T'Challa has already been casted, if we know Marvel by now. If we know Kevin Feige by now. Somebody's got this role, and they're probably already shot as Black Panther. So whether it's going to be Aldous Hodge, which it probably is, yeah, that's why my excitement for Fantastic Four has grown considerably since I really wasn't all that excited for Fantastic Four, but it's the impact it's going to have in the MCU. This is basically going to be the footstep towards Avengers Doomsday. I believe it starts with Fantastic Four.
I mean, it makes me a little, to think about that makes me a little, hopeful in seeing it. I'm just still, again, y'all gonna understand me. I'm gonna stay that one toned until I actually see a movie. And especially when it comes to Fantastic Four, I'm gonna have to really see some shit to change my mind. I gotta actually see it because everything we've seen so far, no.
Fantastic Four movies have not hit.
Absolutely not. So.
And honestly, I was never that big of a fan of the characters. Reed Richards, I kind of liked. The world's smartest man, all of that. Like,
he could be useful sometimes.
He could be useful,
but them as a team, like, what do they really do? I don't know. So again, and there may be some of you, for those of you out there that do like the Fantastic Four movies, because there are some of you. That's great. Mm-hmm. Happy that you do like it. My own personal preference, I ain't like none of them. So I just have no excitement to see it. I'm interested, as in all of the MCU, I am interested in seeing the movies because I am a fan. So I am hoping that it is something that changes my mind about the Fantastic Four. And I can be able to say finally, oh shit, that was a good ass movie. I would love to be able to say something like that about Fantastic Four at least once. So, but until then, until I actually see it and I can say that, it's, I'm going to go watch it still, but we'll see. That's all I can say is we'll see.
But that's what I got to say about Fantastic Four. I do believe there's nothing I've heard about it. There's no type of source information from it. I'm just going based off of the timing of when the Snyder report said that those roles were offered to those actors. It's like, oh man, they've been looking for T'Challa for a while. Or likely right when the Russos agreed to come back. And they're going to need their Black Panther for their movie.
And not only
so
that, exactly.
They started looking for T'Challa.
We're going to have to see him in something before Black Panther 3.
Well,
and this is a subject to where he and I disagree. Yeah. Because for me, to bring a new Black Panther that is not Prince T'Challa into Black Panther 3, we are going to need to see him before then. We are going to need to get used to this new T'Challa. And we're going to need to grow some type of attachment to him before you just drop him into Black Panther 3. Because again, we're coming off of this. Okay, no, my Black Panther, my king, the Black Panther, that was T'Challa. Chadwick Boseman was T'Challa. So you ain't gonna just drop in another person like this and just a completely, and mind you, they're not recasting Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther T'Challa. This is going to be another universes. So, but still, I want to get to know this person. So for me, I want to see him in some of the just at least some scenes. It doesn't have to be a big part or anything like that, but I do want to see him, and I need to get a feel for him and his direction, his agenda going into Black Panther 3. So I do feel he's going to pop up in one of these movies, or maybe one or two of the movies. I don't know, could be completely wrong, but I just feel that would be the best way to bring him in. Now, as far as what T'Challa we're getting is another story.
Yeah, let's go there.
But before we do that,
let's go there.
This one here thinks we're going to get a T'Challa that's just going to pop up in the movies, and then we're going to get a completely different one when we get to Black Panther 3. And I'm just like, well, that's stupid, because
so
I don't like it, because I don't want them to get me used to one Black Panther and then I got to get a whole fucking new one coming into Black Panther 3. I don't like that.
So I
my emotions.
I want to pump the brakes. And actually, before I even get started, man, if you're watching this show, E-Man Reviews, Emmanuel, man, invite me on. I want to have a discussion.
We do want to talk to E-Man.
Yeah.
He seems fun to talk to.
I feel like we may brainstorm some shit together, but I hope you're watching. Anyway, so I want to pump the brakes on the recast T'Challa. We got excited, including myself, when we saw the report that Marvel has been looking for a T'Challa replacement to be recasted. Now, the word recasting kind of goes back to the movement that boy started, E-Man, the recast T'Challa movement. This is not that, though. This is not that. And we got overexcited, and I think we are missing a couple of things here. What they're doing, and it makes sense, again, the Russos are taking over Avengers. They're going to need their players back. RDJ is already back. Chris Evans is back. Scarlett's rumored to be back. Now they're recasting T'Challa. And our report did say via the magic of the multiverse. Okay, so that makes sense. So putting some thought into it, there's nothing in that report that said that they were recasting T'Challa for Black Panther 3. So that's why there may be some actors that are turning this down, which we had this discussion in another video too. Because they may not want to do a one and done deal. Just pop up for Avengers, Doomsday, Secret Wars, and they're done playing T'Challa. Somebody's going to do it. I think somebody already been casted, but that might be the reason why you heard the rumors of some actors actually turning it down. We're not getting the T'Challa from this universe, the Chadwick Boseman T'Challa. This is coming from another universe. However, we are going to be brought back to, I believe, what was Marvel's original plan, which was making T'Challa a primary and important character. So, with that being said, this goes back to Wakanda Forever. A lot of people don't like that. I'm actually one of the few that really like that movie. And Prince T'Challa. How important is Prince T'Challa? And I think he's a great importance. As a matter of fact, there's a possibility, and this is just me theorizing, but this is me theorizing based off of the interview that I saw of Kevin Feige. acknowledging anchor beings. Our T'Challa may have been the anchor being for the 616 universe. And now there's Prince T'Challa who may have become that new anchor being, because we witness in Deadpool and Wolverine that a universe can be saved even after the anchor being has been killed. Which I kind of need to go back and rewatch that too, just to get the full understanding. I feel like I might be missing something there. That could be Prince T'Challa. So the recast T'Challa movement, everybody's excited for it. I do believe Aldous Hodge is going to be it, but it is a Black Panther, it is a T'Challa from a different universe, and he's not going to be around for long. But Prince T'Challa, Toussaint, is still going to be a very important character going forward, and possibly even throughout Doomsday and Secret Wars into Black Panther 3. People talking about, are they just going to age him up magically? Not necessarily. We talked about this a couple of times. Mm-hmm. This kid is going to be a teenager by the time Doomsday comes around.
Yeah.
Shit, he's going to be pretty old. Given the sense that we got Wakanda Forever in 2022. Yeah. 2022. And he was 8 years old, I believe, at the time. In the MCU timeline, we've gotten 2 presidential administrations that we're about to witness. Well, the second we're about to witness. The first one was in Secret Invasion. That's 4 years. This is after Wakanda Forever. We're about to witness this one in Captain America 4 with Thunderbolt Ross being president. It's going to be another 4 years. We don't know how much time has passed. It could have been another president between then Secret Wars and what we're about to get in Captain America 4. And then we don't know how much time is going to pass between Captain America 4 and Doomsday. So when Doomsday rolls around, Toussaint's going to be up there in age. A lot older. It's not just going to be a magic. A lot of people are going off of what they remember, and that's all we gotten of Prince T'Challa. The timeline in between Wakanda Forever and Doomsday, I mean, from what we can gather right now up to this point, that's 2 presidential administrations. That's 8 years.
So if he was around 5...
8. I think it was 8. And Wakanda Forever? Yeah.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I think he was 8 years old. He was in school.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was 8 years old.
Okay. If he was 8 and another 8 years had passed, that would make him 16.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, we still got to wait for Black Panther 3 to come out. So there's going to be a couple more years in between that before we even see him in Black Panther 3.
We don't know the time jump they're going to do in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. They could pull another Infinity War Endgame and throw a 5-year time jump in there. And we know we're getting Black Panther 3 after both of those movies. So
he's definitely going to be, by the time we get him in Black Panther 3, he's definitely going to be a young adult. Mm-hmm. He's going to be around that 17, 18, 19 age frame. And for me,
Damson Idris. That's perfect for Damson Idris.
Well, not only that, it's the age in which they're looking at for the recasting of to get another T'Challa in, and Storm. Rumors circulating around for DeWanda Wise to be it. So now we looking at them and their ages, we can somewhat, if these rumors are true, we can somewhat gauge as to the age range that they're looking for into bringing in Aurora Monroe and a new T'Challa. So that would definitely put Toussaint as a young adult. Mm-hmm. That's going to put him in that age frame. So for me, again, I'm going to say I still think if we get T'Challa to show up, if we get the Black Panther to make some appearances in 1 or 2 of these movies that will come out before Black Panther 3, I need him to stay that because that's the one that's going to come in because we need Toussaint. Toussaint is going to need guidance coming into the Black Panther, and it's going to be something more. It's got to be more than Shuri. And I love my girl. She did well in her role, and we all know in the comics that she did become the Black Panther. So I mean, technically, they did stay on track with things.
I was fine with her becoming Black Panther.
Yeah, no,
and I think I got even more comfortable with it when they presented Toussaint to it. I was like, okay,
Correct.
so this is her run. Eventually, it's going to go back.
It's going. Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
Exactly. So it was just a temporary thing, and again, we got her as the Black Panther in the comics. But anyways, so my thing is how he's going to come into this. Because bringing in a new T'Challa, we know this isn't the T'Challa we know in the 616 because our T'Challa is gone.
He's dead. Yeah.
He's gone. So we're not bringing him back from the dead. So obviously this is going to be a new T'Challa that's coming from another universe. How that is going to happen, we definitely have our theories, but either way, I feel we need to see this T'Challa pop up in one or two of the other movies before then, because this is going to set the tone, because Toussaint does need guidance into becoming the Black Panther. Mm-hmm. So, and he needs it from someone, he needs it from either a father figure, you know, ancestors or whatnot. It's definitely going to need to be more than Shuri, because of what he's taking on, and he's definitely going to need that. And so that's why I feel like whoever they come up with to possibly pop up in these other movies, that needs to be the same one for Black Panther 3. I don't know why they would switch to 2.
I think we're going to get this T'Challa in either in Captain America 4 or Fantastic Four. I think he's popping up in one of those two. Why Captain America 4? Because of all the reshoots it was going through.
And then the news breaking that
there was a reason.
And not just that, we're forgetting that by the time these rumors started that they are recasting it T'Challa, they done already made offers before we even knew that they were recasting T'Challa. So obviously this has been in the works
for quite
long
some time.
Before we knew about it. So there's no telling what is going to show up and whatnot.
All the delays that we've heard about Captain America 4, the reshoots, the rewrites, the reshoots went all the way up, I want to say, into the fall. And it's a disaster. It's that. It's like, no, everything changed during the course of them making this movie. They had that meeting to bring back RDJ and Russo's well before Comic-Con. And that was July of last year. So that's when Captain America 4 was already shooting. And we started getting those reports of it's delayed, this is happening, that's changing, they're taking this out, they're taking that out. Yeah, the approach had to change because the overall scope, the overall picture of the story got changed along the way.
Now, for me, I don't necessarily think he made it to fit into Captain America, this new Captain America. I think we missed the deadline for that one. Possibly. I could be wrong, mind you. I could be wrong about everything.
It's right there on the edge of the deadline, but I wouldn't put it past him now. I
would have to see it, but I don't think we're going to give him in this new Captain America.
I believe we're going to see him this year, though.
I do, however, believe we're going to get him in one or two of the other movies. That's what I do think. He's going to have a pop-up appearance. And that way, you know, it's going to be like, oh, shit, wait, where the fuck did T'Challa come from?
It's from another universe, so my money would be on Fantastic Four. But I wouldn't put it past them to put him in Captain America 4. Only because this multiversal war crap, whatever you want to call it, because it's not really working out well. It's got to kick off, and it really hasn't. It really hasn't. It's got to kick off. The biggest thing we've gotten from the multiverse, from this multiverse saga, was Spider-Man coming over, and what's her name, Monica Rambeau, popping up or ending up in a whole other universe with Beast and Binary. Oh, and Doctor Strange. That's the only things we've really gotten from the multiverse perspective.
So, I mean, I am pretty tired of this whole multiverse thing,
Yes,
but
am I.
if we're going to do it, I will say this: I don't want to get rid of it until we get Miles Morales in the fucking universe. I know I keep saying that, and I'm going to keep fucking saying this shit.
It hasn't been good, and now it feels like that plane ride is on the decline for landing. So they want to stick this landing, and they're going to do it in a big way. But some adjustments have to be made all the way up to management at Disney.
Yeah,
and we're getting that right now.
I'm glad that we do get to bring back a T'Challa.
Yeah,
I am that.
Awesome.
I was that one that I could have went either way. Like, I wasn't against them recasting, but I wasn't mad that they didn't either. Just being able to give Chadwick Boseman, it's just what Chadwick Boseman meant to a lot of people. He's played some very iconic roles in his movie career, some very iconic roles. And to be able to not only mourn him in his real life, but to mourn him on screen where we all have known and grown to love him, I felt that. And I love that. And I thank them for that. And now we get to have him back. So instead of us recasting that T'Challa, we get to have another T'Challa and not pretend that he didn't exist. I love that. So, but again, I was never against recasting him. I just love the way that they've done it. For me, it was a beautiful way and an honorable way to do that situation, to memorialize him.
Yeah, that was definitely a beautiful scene in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
I just my theories when it comes to Black Panther, honestly, and a part of that theory is they are casting two.
That is a possibility.
Not one. I believe they are casting two. They got to cast Prince T'Challa. He's got to be older.
Yeah, he's definitely. So that's where my two comes from, because
that's inevitable.
He's going to be older, so they are going to need another one.
But they are recasting the T'Challa from another universe. The other theory that is out there, well, not out there, that I've come up with, because I have not heard this out there at all. Who's to say that this T'Challa that we're getting is not Prince T'Challa from another universe? They haven't really said anything on that. Jeff Snyder he's not a Marvel fan. he's not deep into Marvel lore. So he heard T'Challa and that was it. And his reports got credibility, but nothing was really said about which T'Challa we are getting. It just said through the magic of the multiverse, they are looking for somebody to cast as T'Challa. We don't know if this is Prince T'Challa or King T'Challa. So that is although a lesser theory, it is still a theory that this could possibly be Toussaint from another universe. And the biggest question of them all, in my opinion, I'm going to start asking this more and more because I want more people's opinions. With the 616 universe being the sacred timeline, who is the anchor being of our main Marvel universe timeline? That is going to be something that I think attention needs to be brought to. And the first person I'm thinking that everybody's going to think of is Spider-Man, Peter Parker, which I don't believe is it at all. If Marvel wanted to make Black Panther or the character of T'Challa the most important character going forward, when we had Chadwick Boseman, and now that they have a chance to kind of get back on that train, maybe Toussaint is that person. Maybe Prince T'Challa going forward will be the most important character going into the future, going into the Mutant Saga. Maybe he is that anchor being. So maybe that's why Doom is on his way to kill off the sacred timeline. They've got a new anchor being.
I think my only thing it is a good theory that we don't know what T'Challa they're recasting. It's just the word recast.
Yeah.
I think if they were just bringing in another Prince T'Challa, then they would the word recast wouldn't be thrown out there. So the only reason I think that is probably most likely not going to happen is because they're saying they are recasting T'Challa, meaning we're getting, to me, that just means we're getting another version of our T'Challa from another universe.
I think that's a question that should have been asked to Jeff Snyder when he brought that news. And I think that's something that is kind of out there in the ether that's not confirmed. The word recast, are they recasting or are they casting another T'Challa? And because the name T'Challa was attached to that, we're immediately, everybody's going to immediately think they are recasting T'Challa, which may not be the case. And the more and more I'm looking into this, it's not showing to be the case, which is not a bad thing, but I think we all went in one direction, including me, and I kind of have to pull back and just research everything. It's like, wait a second, no. From a story perspective, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it doesn't make any sense.
But
let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts. Let's hear your theories. What do you think about everything that we've said? And again, mind you, a lot of times we go down rabbit holes and we talk about things we would like to see happen. I don't mean that shit's gonna happen. We could be completely wrong about everything that we're saying, but I mean, it is worth looking into.
And I guarantee we're going to see something right after we cut this camera off too.
Probably. That's always what happens. We will be talking about something, we will brainstorm, and then as soon as we stop filming, next thing you know, fuck, why didn't we see this before? It happens. It never fails. It happens every single time. So again, I mean, you could see it a different way. We want to know that. Go ahead and drop it in those comments. Let us know your theories, your thoughts, your thoughts about what we're saying. If you agree with us, if you don't agree with us, let us know. We want to hear, we want to read it. And
if y'all down to go on live, have a discussion, join a Discord or whatnot, like, I want to chop it up with some people. I want to hear y'all thoughts. I want to hear y'all theories.
Yeah, we want to actually talk to people.
Like, I want to hear what y'all got going on in y'all minds about
brainstorm
this.
Of
because
everybody
I feel like things are about to really heat up, and it's gonna catch everybody off guard. So I want to hear y'all theories before Cat 4 hits.
Yeah, we already got our tickets, yes. So we're definitely going to be there on opening day. So we're looking forward to that. And yeah, so again, thank y'all for tuning in and listening to our thoughts, theories, and rants, going down our rabbit holes with us. And if you watch this far, or if you're still watching now, go ahead and please like and subscribe. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that notification button. So you'll see when we post all our new content.
Absolutely.
We're definitely getting back into it. Life be life, and as always. So thank you again. We appreciate you all. And until next time, we'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.